You know, tin work, my goodness, I went to Santa Fe and I was lucky enough to go and see a collection that was being put together at the Governor's Palace with my dear friend Marilyn Thoma. And it really opened my eyes because there I was looking at these nichos and these crucifixes and all these components that were authentic with the original finish and the colors and the way they were displayed in this room. It was just, it took my breath away. And I thought, oh my God, this is just unbelievable. And the fact that the tin work in a lot of cases was done like tramp art work with the same sensibility for sort of a spin on folk art. And actually much of design elements, the scalloped edges, and the way that they put a heart or a star into a piece and incorporated a whole meaning around it. There was a definite link. It was like tramp art and tin work were cousins in my mind. And, you know, immediately I started thinking of designs for pieces. For now, I'm painting it in the sympathetic colors that would have been used at that time. And I'm trying to give it the look and the feel and the depth, but still giving it a little more whimsy than it originally had, just because that's the kind of person I am. So I'm putting literally my own spin on it. Well, we're going to use in this particular application some metallic paint. Because I'm trying to emulate the tin work in this piece. And so first I'll paint with a spray can, and then I'm going to move on to fauxing them and dulling them down and giving them sort of that aged look, because I don't want them to look like they're brand new silver bright tin. Because I'm inspired by the old pieces and I want these to sort of have that older look. I'm adding stylistically more whimsy, more curvilinear aspects, more components that are growing out of it. In other words, where there was a single layer before with an appendage, I will maybe take it and morph it into 2 or 3 appendages, expanding as if growing out of the piece. New Mexican tin work is absolutely fabulous, and the fact that it's survived so long, and the techniques used parallel many of the folk art techniques used in tramp art, and it has its own magical quality. And a lot of it was made in the same way tramp art was made. It's found objects. They used lard cans. Tramp art used cigar boxes. There was a pair of tin snips, there was some stamps, there was a hammer, maybe 2 or 3 weights of hammers to stamp with. And tramp art's kind of the same way. It only had, you know, a pocket knife, maybe, some sandpaper. It might have had a pattern so you could trace and repeat that pattern if you needed 5 or 6 little widgets to make it up. And so there's a lot of similarities. And I like the fact that you can look at the back of a piece of New Mexican tin work and sometimes see the stamp from the maker, the lard can maker, or what have you. It's kind of interesting. And tramp art has the same thing going on. Tramp art has the old cigar box wood, and there'll, in a lot of times, be a label on the back side of some of these picture frames from some place in Cuba where they made the cigars and harvested the wood and you know, shipped it all over. And so it's kind of interesting. I've seen tramp art that's made out of orange crates, and I made a piece of I call Barnyard Rivalry. It's a pair of roosters like a weather vane, and it's all made out of wine box wood, kind of to carry on the idea and the tradition of making it out of recycled components of your area. I'm in the Napa Valley, so wine box wood is everywhere. It's much like the cigar box wood of the 1880s around here. And so again, it's that sort of living with the joy of place and trying to take the things that are at hand and turning, nothing virtually, as some people would say, into something.